Cynthia. Sid, please come here. Come here, please. I didn't tell you to.
I just have a question. Okay. Please?
What's that?
Okay, one place? Oh, okay.
Talk to Mark, please. Marina.
Oh my gosh, it's only there.
They're on the roof. Thank you. We all set? Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to use the seat, will be the first. Please come to the seat.
Would everybody please rise? You want to go back to the gentlemen, you may be seated.
We'll start with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask you please to move over to the side so we can film this? Ladies and gentlemen, this service is going to be conducted by Rabbi Misha Tillman and Cantor Pavel Reitman. Cantor Reitman will be doing the eulogy for Nicole, and Rabbi Tillman will be doing the eulogy for Elizaveta.
Adonai roi lo echsar ino deshe yarbitzeni על מי מנוחות ינח עליני גם כי ילך בגיא צלמוות לא ירא רע כי אתה עמדי שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי נשענת ושמן ראשי כוסי רוויה אך טוב וכסף ירדפוני כל ימי חיי וישבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים אדוני רואי לא אחסר אדוני רואי לא אחסר. If you happen to know the words of the 23rd Psalm in English, you can now join me. If Russian is your language, you can find the words of the Psalm on the inside cover of the booklet. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He gives me repose in green meadows. He leads me beside the still waters to revive my soul. He guides me on the right path, for it is his nature. Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anointed my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Friends, we are gathered here today for a very sad occasion. We came to say goodbye to Nicole, beloved daughter, sister, stepdaughter, and wife, a friend, a wonderful woman who is going to be missed by many. We also came to say goodbye to Nicole's grandmother, Elizaveta, a dear grandmother, mother, and friend, who too is going to be sorely missed. On this difficult and truly tragic day for the family, our thoughts and sympathies go to the immediate family members as well as to the extended family and friends We share in your sense of loss and pray that you find much needed comfort in the days and weeks to come. As it has been our custom, we begin our ceremony with psalms and readings appropriate for this occasion. These readings have been a source of comfort to our ancestors in their time of grief, and today we too turn to their time-tested wisdom and insight. Adonai ma'adam b'tedayehu, Lord, who are we that we have regard for us? What are we that you are mindful of us? We are like breath, our days are a passing shadow. We come and go like grass, which in the morning shoots up renewed, and in the evening fades and withers. You cause us to revert to dust, saying, Return, O mortal creatures. Would that we were wise, that we understood where we are going. For when we die, we carry nothing away. Our glory does not accompany us. Mark the wholehearted and behold the upright. They shall have peace. Lord, you redeem the souls of your servants, and none who trust in you shall be desolate. And I would like to invite my dear friend and colleague, Rabbi Misha Tillman, to share a few words.
In the Hebrew Bible, there is a very strange book. I call it strange because that book, at first sight, makes no sense. It's called the book of Job, Eov in Hebrew. It begins with the story about a man who was very wealthy, had many children, led such a happy life. He was a very pious man. And then unthinkable happens. Satan says to God, look at Job, he's so pious. What if you take away everything that is dear to him? Test him. And then even more unthinkable happens. God agrees with it. And he takes away everything from the man. He loses all of his children at once, much less property and everything. But what happens next is even more important. His wife tells him, well, how can you retain your integrity? How can you retain your faith? How can you retain the strength of your spirit? She clearly tells him, curse God and die. But Job says, shall we receive from God only good and will not receive from God things that are bad? And then he shows the strength of spirit and proceeds to say, Adonai Natan v'Adonai Lakach Yishem Adonai Mevorach. God has given, God has taken away. Blessed be the name of God. We are mere mortals. It is not in our power to question, much less change God's will. But what we can do is through the strength of our spirit to find a way to continue to live, to continue to honor the memory of our loved ones, the memory of our Nika and Lisa, and to honor their memory by our love and mutual support. This is our spiritual duty. And today, following Eov, we say, Adonai Natan. God, you have bestowed upon us beautiful, timeless, precious gifts. 2 beautiful, precious lives. And today we shall reflect on those gifts. First, we shall reflect on Nika's life, the wonderful personality, the beautiful soul. Cantor Reutman will share his thoughts with us.
Thank you, Rabbi Tillman, for these meaningful words. Nicole was a beautiful human being. By her life, she brought light into this world and in so many ways made it a better place. Her journey, though short, was meaningful and complete, and she found her calling in helping others. Nicole genuinely cared about those around her and the world, and for that she was cherished and loved in return. Knowing how challenging it was for her to follow her dreams, one cannot help but admire Nicole's inner strength and her ability to persevere. She was a strong and courageous woman, Though limited in sight, she had a great vision of what her life was supposed to be, and she lived her life accordingly every given day. Much of what Nicole dreamed about in life did become a reality. She was fulfilled professionally as a mental therapist and healer. She also experienced happiness and love, finding her besheret, her other half, in Jordan. Nicole had other dreams too, and they surely would have come true if not for the incurable disease that took her from us way too early and way too soon. We all mourn Nicole's untimely passing, but in saying goodbye, we celebrate her life through our stories and our memories of her. May Nicole's story never be forgotten, and may it be an everlasting blessing, and we say, Amen. She was born in Nazareth in Israel in 1992 to Lena and her then husband Michael. Since early childhood, Nicole was known to be a neat and tidy person who loved orderliness in her life. She was also quiet and well-behaved, a true source of joy to her family and loved ones. Early on, Nicole was diagnosed with a number of vision impairments that were bound to create limits in her life. At the same time, Nicole's vision problems seemed to have been more than compensated by her wonderful personality and her will to achieve success and to persevere. As her family moved to the United States, Nicole found many more avenues for expressing herself and for living fully, finding her true path in life. She attended high school, later Elmhurst College, and later Illinois State University in Bloomingdale's. In her studies, she pursued a career of a mental health specialist, finding her true calling in helping those in need of help. And this was one of the most amazing things about Nicole. In spite of her personal struggle with vision loss, she found joy in being a source of comfort and light to others, and she was appreciated and loved in return. Nicole's care extended not only to people but also to animals, especially those with vision impairments, like one of her service dogs. She took care of her dog, and when a blind cat came along, she also took care of the cat. It was as if she had a special bond with all living creatures as a nurturer and healer of all those who needed help. For everything she had given and received, Nicole was loved dearly by her relatives, teachers, and friends, many of whom are standing here today, sharing in their collective sense of loss. Our collective hearts, my heart, go to all those who mourn here today, and especially to Lena, Dmitry, Tanya, Dennis, and Jordan. Dear Lena, I cannot even begin to imagine the depth of your loss. It's hard to imagine losing a child, and our hearts are broken for you. I pray that you find peace in the memories of Nicole and in the circle of your family and friends, all of whom are here to support you and to be with you at your time of grief. We are here for you, and we want you to know it. Dear Dennis, we're here for you too in your time of grief. I know that you loved your sister dearly, and as your mom shared with me, at one time you even wanted to become a doctor to cure Nicole from her incurable disease. She surely loved you, and she was proud of you always. May her life be an example for you to follow and to behold. In so many ways, Nicole was a paradigm of what a truly beautiful person can be to those around her in the world. No one knew this better than Nicole's husband, Jordan, who had the opportunity to share his life with Nicole in the most profound and meaningful way. To Jordan, Nicole was his shining light, his partner and friend, someone who made him happy and complete. When they met, Jordan was truly taken by Nicole's intellect and wisdom. She was brilliant and bright and taught me so much. shared Jordan in our conversation from a few days ago. She opened my world and made me a better person, he said, while telling me a story of how they met and how he waited for her for 3 years, knowing deep inside in his heart that she truly was the one. Jordan even told Nicole when they were not sure where the relationship was going, "I will wait for you." And waiting he did and was rewarded. They got married in June of 23, and although God did not give them enough time together, they enjoyed the time they were allotted. They loved each other and cared for one another, sharing conversations, laughter, and dreams. And there were many wonderful dreams that they planned to fulfill together. One of them was to adopt and raise a child, another to travel around the world. They also wanted to go on a real honeymoon when the opportunity presented itself. Sadly, these dreams did not come true as Nicole was taken from this world, as I said before, way before her time. She was a wonderful human being, loving daughter, stepdaughter, sister, stepsister, and wife, and a person of many good qualities and talents. She had a great sense of humor, was a skilled knitter, baker, and cook, and had many friends. She was also fiercely independent, not accepting her condition as an impediment to living. Nicole truly was an amazing person, a shining star that shone her light on those around her and the world. May her memory be for a blessing. I want to conclude my eulogy today with the words of the poem that truly reflects the essence of who Nicole was in the world and in our lives. This poem was originally written by Hannah Senesh, a young Jewish woman who died at the end of Nazis at the age of 23. There are stars up above, so far away. We only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly. Though their time with us is done, but the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember. May she rest in peace, and we say, Amen. I'm now going to invite my colleague Rabbi Tillman to share a eulogy for Elizaveta. Oh, pardon me. Are there any speakers that mentioned to me that they were going to speak? Tanya, please. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. For all that doesn't know, I'm Nicole's stepmom. I met Nicole when she was just 13 years old, and I loved her dearly from the first day I met her. We had a great relationship, and I will miss her dearly. I'm also here to represent her father's side of the family. Her grandma, Jenny, and Uncle Oleg. They asked me to send condolences to everybody who loved Nicole and who cherished her. May she rest in peace, and I will always love you, Nika.
Hi, I'm Jordan Quarter, Nicole Quarter's husband, and Nicole was just an amazing, very special person. Most of the people here are as lucky as I am to have known her for as long as we have.
She's made so many people's lives better. Everyone here, and countless people couldn't make it today. She's helped people through really hard times. And I know she would want to help us all through this if she could. I'm lucky enough to have known her for 3 years, and even luckier to have been married to her for a little over 1. I wish I had more time with her, but I'm very happy to have had the time that I did. Nika, you'll always be my love, and I'll always be your favorite. Thank you.
Thank you very much for these beautiful words.
My dear friends, to honor Liza's cultural heritage, I will make my remarks about Liza's life, her personality, her legacy in the Russian language. Those of you who do not speak Russian, I hope you understand. Please bear with us. I promise I will summarize my remarks in English, but very briefly. I will not make you suffer from two texts that would be the same, but on different languages. Okay? Как-то раз в одной ешиве два молодых человека, два студента, спорили между собой, кто сделал самый лучший перевод Торы. Горячий такой был спор, там один говорил про одного профессора в германском университете, другой говорил про одного великого раввина из Литвы, там, кто точнее. Вот. Старый раввин перебил их, сказал: вы оба неправы. Самый точный перевод Торы сделала моя мама. И твоя мама. И твоя мама. Мама. Ну они такие: а как так? Как такое может быть? Откуда вы знали? А он им процитировал слова царя Соломона из книги притчи Соломонова. Глава 1, стих 8. Шмавни мусаравиха, валь ты тоже тураты меха. Слушай, сын мой, наставление отца своего, и не забывай Тору мамы своей. Не забывай Тору мамы своей. И вы меня спросите: а как же так? Разве Тору не учат в ешивах? Разве не преподают раввины? Нет, Тору учат в жизни, ее преподает мама. Сегодня мы отдаем дань уважения женщине, которая сделала для нас прекрасный перевод Торы. Я позволю себе процитировать Наташеньку. Я редко это слышу. 27 лет занимаюсь, редко это слышу. Лиза, все, что хотела сделать в этом мире, она сделала. Это первый урок от Лизы. А второй урок, это, конечно, такой, знаете, простой, слово простое, повторяемое все время. Но часто люди не понимают истинную глубину этого слова. Вы знаете это слово, конечно же, любовь. Но любовь — это, знаете, не страсть, не обнимашки, не поцелуйчики. Любовь — это когда это забота, любовь — это труд, любовь — это самоотверженность, любовь — это самопожертвование. Вот что такое любовь. Вот это была любовь, которую Лиза дала своим детям. Да, детей, кстати, у него было 5. 2 дочки. А внуков она тоже детьми называла. У меня 5 детей. И знаете, я вчера, когда с Наташенькой говорил, просто, значит, позавчера, да, вы знаете, она мне рассказывала про Лизу, я думаю, что-то как знакомая история-то звучит. Знакомо-то как все. Да, это моя покойная мама. Мы уже взрослые, а мама считает, что нам еще 12. И мы маме говорим, мама, да, я знаю, но все равно для меня ты ребенок. Для мамы ты всегда ребенок. И поэтому мама всегда о тебе волнуется. И поэтому мама всегда о тебе заботится. Эта мама дает тебе все, что у нее есть. Это мама. Лиза принадлежит тому поколению нашего народа, которое мы в Советском Союзе называли детьми войны. Родилась она в разрушенном, почти до основания городе Минске в 1946 году, большой еврейской семье. И это достаточно типичный случай был. Семья была большая, 6 детей было в семье, но когда родилась Лиза, одного уже не было. Ее старший брат пал смертью храбро в борьбе с немецко-фашистскими захватчиками. Росла она действительно в непростых условиях в послевоенном Минске. Она была очень талантливой, она была очень привлекательной, она танцевала. Она не просто танцевала на танцах, нет, не на танцах, она танцевала профессионально в ансамбле, да, народных танцев, назывался он Лявониха. Наташа меня вчера научила, я-то только хорошки помню, а Лявониху, да. Вот, то есть она действительно была настоящей профессиональной танцовщицей. Затем она, как говорится, перешла в другую отрасль и работала, вплоть до отъезда в Израиль, работала в предприятиях общественного питания города Минска, пройдя путь от рядового сотрудника до руководящих должностей. И я должен сказать, в Советском Союзе сфера общественного питания имела специфический характер. Вот. И, ну, Лизу все знали. Лизу все знали. Я вам один пример приведу. Кто-то вспомнит этого человека. Был такой, сейчас его уже нет, 16 лет, как его нет, с нами Изи Копченый. Венгеринова фамилия, как все его называли, да, Изи. Вот Изи в 1977 году из Минска уехал сюда, в Чикаго. Через 20 с лишним лет Лиза приехала сюда, в Чикаго, Изи ее узнал. Он ее вспомнил по Минску. А сами знаете, Изи знал много кого. Знаете, да, Изи-то. Вот. Так что, да, она была человеком, которого все помнили, которого все знали, которого все уважали. Когда происходили тяжелые события исторические, когда распадалась сама ткань жизни, когда Советского Союза не становилось, это был целый процесс. Он был болезненный для всех нас. Не за политики, а просто вот жизнь сама расползалась. Поэтому многие люди принимали решение искать лучшую жизнь для себя и, главное, для детей. Вот для детей. И уезжали. Уехали в Израиль. Вот там в Израиле Лиза, которая, как я уже сказал, имела большой, богатый опыт работы в предприятиях общественного питания, она прошла французские кулинарные курсы. Стала шеф-поваром по профессии. Вот, чтобы вы знали, это не просто большой чан, где вы варите суп в столовой. Это нет. Я процитирую великого немецкого философа Иммануила Канта, который сказал, что из всех видов искусств самым возвышенным является искусство кулинарии. Как я уже сказал, Наташенька, в моей семье мы с вами согласны. Кант был прав. И Лиза, вся семья очень любили покушать. Ну, не просто покушать, а покушать вкусно. А это искусство. Приготовить хорошо – это искусство. Покушать вкусно – тоже искусство. Она искусством в полной мере овладела. Поэтому и Лена, и Наташа в гостях было невкусно кушать. Потому что дома всегда вкуснее. Да в ресторанах невкусно было. Потому что дома вкуснее. Ну так. Какой Лиза готовила гефилте фиш, это нельзя описать. Она была королевой супов и салатов, как я сказал, Наташа по другой части была. Да? Вот. Здесь, в Чикаго, когда она приехала сюда, она также работала, как я уже сказал, в предприятиях общественного питания. В частности, в начале, по-моему, с Метрополя она начинала. Да, начала она с Метрополя. Тогда еще существовал ресторан Метрополь, который находился на Голубе. Увековеченный в российском кинофильме «Брат 2», если помните. Вот он был. Майя, тогдашняя управляющая, как раз взяла Лизу на работу. Потом позже, значит, хозяин ресторана, Гриша Доллар, Стратиевский фамилия, Доллар, да. Он пришел, посмотрел, что делает Лиза, как работает Лиза, и сказал, ну, теперь я знаю, почему у нас качество лучше стало, почему у нас хорошо кушают. А потом она к Мише Кефиру ушла, Смоленскому, в его ресторан. Миша тоже, наняв Лизу, сказал, вот теперь я буду хорошо питаться. Покойный Миша, да будет память о благословении. Затем она решила на большой рискованный поступок. Она открыла свой ресторан «Лиза». Шикарный ресторан был, вкусный. Но ресторанный бизнес, он жестокий. Не просто тяжелый, он жестокий. Он 90% статистика, 90% открывается и закрывается. Ну что делать? Но Лиза, вот она свою часть делала в том смысле, что вот она готовила, у нее были блюда настоящие, качественные, замечательная была кухня. Потом после закрытия ресторана работала в русско-американском деликатесной. Ну, естественно, вплоть до выхода на пенсию. Как я уже сказал, кулинаром она была виртуозным. Есть, ничего не скажешь. Как человек, она была, как я уже сказал, любящим. Но при этом она была человеком старой школы. Она была человеком требовательным. Да, она вас любит, да, она вас поддержит. Но отношения между людьми – это взаимность. Так что от вас что-то ожидается, давайте. Она была человеком справедливым. Она никогда бы не требовала от вас то, чего не стоит требовать. Но то, что стоит, пожалуйста, извольте. И сама всегда давала все, что могла. Она была, опять же, вспомнил свою покойную душу, ну так похоже, все, параллельные жизни, ровесница почти. Она вас видела насквозь. Она точно людей читала, всегда. Разбиралась в людях. Жизненный опыт. Жизненный опыт, что делать? Она была человеком смелым. Смелым, потому что она прошла через многие испытания в этой жизни. Тяжелое детство, нелегкая советская жизнь. 2 иммиграции, а не одна. В Израиль, а потом в Соединенные Штаты. Это не просто все было. Поэтому она была человеком сильным. В конце своей жизни, когда она была тяжело больна, она все знала. Она знала, что ей осталось не очень много. Она знала, что она скоро уйдет. Но она, опять же, была сильна духом. Всегда. До самого конца. Поэтому, кем была Лиза? Ну, прежде всего, она была человеком, который не определял себя вне контекста своей семьи. Именно поэтому в Израиле один родственник, бывший уже вроде родственник, сказал, произнес в честь Лизы тост, давно еще, там же в Израиле, что говорит: Лиза, ты генератор этой семьи, он сказал. Вот она генератором семьи была, да. Теперь, друзья мои, когда случилась страшная трагедия, когда Ника нас покинула, и Лиза решила, что она должна ее сопровождать на небеса, чтобы они вместе там просили Всевышнего за нас, о чем? Чтобы мы жили не просто хорошо, а правильно. Чтобы мы были справедливыми. Чтобы мы, вот, наверное, научились и хорошо готовить тоже. Или продолжали хорошо готовить. Чтобы мы, конечно же, поддерживали, любили друг друга. И продолжали идти по дороге жизни. И стали сами каждый генератором вместо нее. В этом наша обязанность. Лиза очень любила свою семью. Как я уже сказал, их было 6 человек детей. После войны остались Сема, Рая, Зина. Все они ушли из жизни в Израиле, да будет память их благословением. Гриша, жив, дай Бог ему здоровья, тоже в Израиле проживает. И младший самый, да, Гриша? Брат, да. Вот. Я также хотел бы отметить Жору, это папа Наташин, да, значит, вот, да будет память его благословению. Вот. И также много лет она была с Сашей, да, тоже. Ну и 2 дочки, замечательные дочки, которых она очень любила. Она воспитала Лену, Наташу. Как мама она сделала все для своих дочерей. В непростых жизненных условиях, я еще раз это подчеркну, но она сделала для вас все, что было в ее силах. И гордилась вами по праву. Дима – это супруг Ленина, Наташа – спутник жизни Юрка, которые также были дороги сердцу нашей дорогой Лизы, и ее остальные 3 детей. Вернее, ее внуки технически, но на самом деле ее дети, которых она обожала. Это Ника наша дорогая, Денис, Камила, который вышел замуж за Оливера. И я хочу также подчеркнуть, Джордан сам мне сказал, насколько хорошо к нему отнеслась Лиза. Я просто Джордана процитирую. Jordan said, she always accepted me. She was always happy for me. Nika was always very welcoming. And there is a cultural difference. We are who we are. Americans are who they are, right? And especially for the older generation, to bridge that difference. To bridge that difference is a challenge. She stood to that challenge. She was always welcoming to Jordan and Jordan's family. Сегодня, друзья мои, мы с Лизой прощаемся. Мы знаем, что это лишь физическое расставание. В самом важном смысле этого слова, духовном, она всегда будет с нами. Вечная память, да будет память о благословении всем нам. Friends, very brief summary. I'm not going to be nearly as long in the English language. Lisa was a woman who possessed two core character traits: infinite love for her family, and the strength of spirit. These two character traits define the meaningfuls of one's life. And Lisa's life was profoundly meaningful. She didn't live an easy life, a very difficult post-World War II childhood in the Soviet Union, a tough Soviet reality, two immigrations, not one to Israel, another one to the United States. Very hard work throughout her life. Periods when she was basically a single mom too, those periods. And yet she made it. She made it because she was strong and she was loving. These two driving forces was what made it work for Lisa. And that is why, I'm quoting one of her relatives, or former relatives, Lisa was the generator of the family. The engine, probably the idiomatic translation, the engine that moved that family, that drove that family forward. She was infinitely loyal, infinitely loving, and she treated all of her younger generation, both of them, as her children. She had 5 children, not 2. 2 daughters and 3 grandchildren. They're all my children, she said. She was an amazing chef, a professional chef, professionally trained chef, but also naturally gifted. Even before she had her French cooking training, she was truly a virtuoso when it came to cooking. And she was someone who had a strong sense of justice, was very direct in her opinions, very old school. But again, Lizzie always knew she meant what she said. She was honest. She didn't mince words. And that should be appreciated too, you know. So this is a woman who is leaving behind a beautiful, truly inspiring legacy of love and spiritual strength. And I will conclude by quoting Natasha. Natasha said to me, everything that Lisa wanted to accomplish in this world, she has accomplished. So we can safely say, Lisa, thank you, mission accomplished. May her memory be a blessing. Friends, we will now proceed with the burial. We will honor Nika's and Lisa's memory with a moment of silence. Then the cemetery staff will proceed with the burial, which will be accompanied by the appropriate memorial prayers led by my dear friend, Cantor Reutman. Please rise for the moment of silence.
I encourage each of you to think at least one, to recall at least one memory of each of those we're saying goodbye to today. And if it helps you, please close your eyes. In his remarks, Rabbi Tillman mentioned a beautiful image of 2 souls ascending to heaven. And in our tradition, the idea of a soul is a very important idea. It gives us a sense of comfort to know that there is a kind of immortality in the idea that the essence of the person we were connected to and we loved still lives on somehow in some shape or form. As many of you know, in Judaism, it's not common to mention the image of God, what God looks like, what God feels like. But in this particular prayer, there's one specific image, and that is one of the wings of God, And the idea is that when souls ascend to heaven, it is the wings of God that embrace these souls. And once that moment comes to be those souls who at times had difficult lives, in our case had difficult, challenging lives, find ultimate comfort and peace. And this is something we wish for Nicole and Elisaveta, and also to all of you, family and friends. El mare rachamim, shochen v'amromim, hamtze menucha nekona, tachat kanfei hashchina, v'malot kedushim utcholim, כזוהר הרקיע מזכירים את נשמות כל אלה שהזכרנו כיום לברכה שחלקו לעולמם בגן עדן כי מנוחתם אנה בעל הרחמים, הסתירם בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור כקיים את נשמותיכם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבותיכם, ונאמר אמן. Exalted, compassionate God, grant perfect peace among the holy and the pure, in your sheltering presence under the shadow of your wings, to the souls of our beloved Elisaveta and Nicole, who has gone to their eternal home. May their memory endure as an inspiration for deeds of charity and goodness in their lives. May their souls be thus bound up in the bond of life. May they rest in peace, and let us all say, Amen.
Please be seated. The way this will be working is Elisaveta's casket will be lowered into the grave. The lid of the concrete grave liner will be placed in. And then Nicole will join her grandmother, will lower her casket. And then after that, everyone will have an opportunity to put some earth into the grave, after which the traditional prayer called Kaddish will be recited.
My dear friends, in the Jewish tradition, it is deemed to be very important to be buried in the land of Israel. And of course, Lisa and Lisa's family have a special connection with Eretz Israel. Now, why is it important? I'm sure many of you are familiar with the aspect of the Jewish theology known as the fancy word eschatology. It comes from the Greek word eschaton, which means the end. So history has the end. There will be the end of time, according to theologians. And the end of times will arrive when the Mashiach comes, the Messiah. So among many things that will happen will be resurrection of the dead. Everyone who ever lived and passed away will return back to life, such as our theological teaching. in the rabbinical literature, in the post-biblical literature, there is a suggestion offered by our ancient sages that people who are buried in the land of Israel will be the first ones to return back to life. Now, why is it important to be buried with the earth from the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem? Because this is the earth from the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem. The reason is because in the book of Zechariah, one of the biblical prophets, chapter 4, treats exactly that topic, the end of the world, and the Mount of Olives plays an important part in there. I will stop here so that it wouldn't get too long and too complex, but if you wish, you can refer yourself to chapter 4 of Zechariah. So this is the earth from the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem, and we will place this earth into these No, we're definitely going to show you the side. I mean, I'm not considering this. No, it's kind of a nice thing to see. You know, it's kind of a thing to see. I mean,
I don't care.
My dear friends, in just a few moments, we will have an opportunity to participate in the burial.
It's okay.
Ah, they can hear me without. Okay, I'll start again. Okay. My dear friends, in just a few moments, all of us and each of us will have an opportunity to take part in the burial. In the Jewish tradition, participating in the burial of the deceased is the most important aspect of the funeral rites. Of all the laws and customs associated with funerals, there is a fundamental law that requires everyone present to place some earth into the resting place of our loved one. So it's not just a nice thing to do, but a fundamentally important mitzvah, the commandment. So all of us will have an opportunity to fulfill that commandment and to place some earth into Nika's and Lisa's resting place. Let us begin with the immediate family, then everyone present, please do take part. If you're not comfortable, I understand, not a problem, but I certainly encourage everyone to participate.
Some people can go from the other.
Friends, you may come from both sides, please. You can come from both sides. We have 2 shovels available, so 2 sides, please. Объем. Французский. Сейчас, потом мы катим сразу, а потом объем. Так, не волнуй, все объем. Он по-английски мы переводим.
I would like to mention that in addition to the approximate 80 people we've had here today, there's been 33 devices signed on watching this from around the world, which might be another 50, 60 people as well. Also, I would like to mention that the family is inviting everybody back to Maestro Restaurant and Maestro Grill, and the information's on the first page of the pamphlet. That'll be from 2:30 to 6 at 500 Anthony Trail in Northbrook.
Друзья мои, также пользуясь паузой и возможностью, скажу по-русски то, что только что было сказано по-английски. По окончании погребения здесь на кладбище семья будет собираться для поминальной трапезы в ресторане Маэстро Грилл у Бори. Ну, Боря, да, все знают Борю. Вот. Значит, это в Норсбруке находится, здесь же. Если вам нужен адрес, можете спросить у меня, или вы можете, естественно, Маэстро Грилл набрать у вас в вашем навигаторе, GPS, как это называется по-английски. Члены семьи будут очень благодарны вам, если вы сможете к ним присоединиться, поддержать их в эту тяжелую минуту и продолжать делиться друг с другом светлыми воспоминаниями о Лизе и Нике. Еще раз, Маэстро Грилл сразу по окончании погребения здесь на кладбище. Давно тебя не видел.
Что это? Это хорошо.
Да, это хорошая новость, что давно тебя не видел. Не, ну, правда, не только на таких мероприятиях появляюсь, но на таких.
Что делать?
Ты что замечательно? Нет? Киеве не понравилось. Зимой в Минске первый раз побывал. Вот зимой побывал. Yeah, friends don't who take part, the reason they got not that it's significant, I must be honest. But just imagine when you put the shovel, they put the shovel back into the mouth. And the next person will take it out of the mouth. Because it's not critically important, but, you know, it's better than
Адрес знаете?
When you're done shoveling, please return to your places so that we can finish the ceremony and say Kaddish.
Будешь со мной ехать или с ним? Вера не приедет. Детей будет встречать. Свои приехала.
No, this is Ashkenaz.
Вот что мама знает,
No, but I mean, no, this is Aramaic. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we will be saying Kaddish. So I would like you to be attentive right now. This is a very important part of the service and concluding part of the service. In the Jewish tradition, we always conclude memorial services and funerals by saying Kaddish. Now, Kaddish is the memorial prayer in Judaism, but it is very important to remember, Kaddish is not about death. Kaddish is a hymn of praise to God, and therefore it is a hymn of praise to life itself. We shall glorify God's name, and thus we shall glorify lives of our loved ones, of our dear Nika and our beloved Lisa, with the sacred words of our ancient prayer, Kaddish. So Cantor Reitman and myself will now... יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבם, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחי יכונו ויום יכונו וחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהיה שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי יתקודשה ברכו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יש להם רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. May God grant peace to those who mourn and comfort all the bereaved among us. Amen.
So it says in the Talmud that it's very important for the community to be near and to support those who experience loss. So I'd like to thank everyone who came here today and supported the family and will continue to support the family. Before we leave the cemetery today, I'm going to ask you to repeat a few words after me in Hebrew. These are the words of comfort that we offer to the family. Everyone present here is welcome to repeat except for the immediate members of the family. Please repeat after me. Hamakom
Hamakom,
yinachem
Yinachem,
etchem
Etchem,
betoch
Betoch,
sha'ar avilei
Avilei,
Zion
Sion,
v'Yerushalayim.
Yerushalayim.
May those who mourn be comforted today in Jerusalem, around the world, and here. May Nika and Elizaveta sleep in peace. Our service has ended. You can return to your cars. Rabbi Tillman and I will remain here to make sure that the resting places are appropriately covered, and the flowers will be placed on top of the resting places upon the conclusion. Shalom.
Go forth in peace back to life.